Hi, and welcome to the recap video of the 1330s. We, of course, started it out with our new family pictures. That's always my favorite part, going and looking at what all has changed in the last 10 years and getting everybody's pictures and their families all separated and situated and all of that stuff. I love it so much, and I love looking at the picture. I love it so much that every time I do a new decade picture, that becomes my background screen on my computer. So I see it all the time, and I love it. Now, we also had Ethel become a teen. So as soon as we took the pictures, they were no longer accurate because in the very beginning of this year, Ethel became a teen and she rolled really well, so she lived. We had child Michael, who is little Michael, we've been calling him, and he became a child and rolled really well. And Mary, Michael, and Cooper rolled to become adults. Sadly, Mary died, and so Adrian lost Mary when they just had Frey and Gwendolyn in their house, and now we have Adrian living with the kids, and Michael and Cooper both aged up, no problem. We also finally got to cook our turkey dinner for Christmas. It was fantastic. It was a rousing success, and Hugh did a fantastic job of cooking it. Oh, and then at the dinner was actually when Mary died. I rolled everything before we had the dinner, and so Mary died at the dinner while everybody was there at Christmas. And then Penelope became a toddler. This is Clara's youngest daughter, and she rolled really well. That ended 1330 for us. It was a year of ups and downs for sure. In 1331, Ethel moved out. That happened off camera so that she could move into the orphanage because she rolled to never get married. We also had Frey, who was Mary's oldest son, become a teenager, and he rolled really well. He also rolled to get married, and so that will be coming up. That is the end of 1331, and in 1332, Clara had her next baby, and his name was Robert, and he died. We also that year had Daniel's wedding, and he also got a new puppy, Bandit. We had Nathaniel aging up into a child. That is Clara's oldest son. We had Olive becoming a young adult and Millie becoming an adult. We also had Adrian becoming an elder, and he only got one more year with us. We also had kittens with Dolphin and Shark, and Gwendolyn became a teenager. She will be getting married in just a year, and Frey has moved out to go live in France. That's how 1332 ended. Then we began 1333, which is the saddest year that we've ever had. We kicked the year off with Daniel's wife, Adeline, and his daughter, Silver, both dying, when Adeline died in childbirth and Silver died just after. We did have the good news of Frey moving into his house in France, and we also had Clara and Howard both aging up. Clara became a young adult, and Howard became an adult. Also, Howard's parents became elders, and we did lose Adrian this year, though, as well. But we ended the year with Gwendolyn and Christopher getting married, which was fantastic, and Bandit aging up from a puppy to an adult. So 1334 kicked off with Penelope aging up to a child and the kittens both aging up. We also expanded our garden area out from the main house, and Frey had his wedding over in France. Then moving into 1335, we got to see the family tree and how it all looked with everything updated and everybody that's passed away and everybody that's been born in the last 10 years added to the family tree. It is starting to get bigger and bigger. It's very cool. We also had Daniel get married again. He married Anaya, and Mary English died, which is Howard's mom. Gwendolyn had her first babies, and they were twins, Tomisia and Thomas. We later changed Tomisia's name to Thomasina. And at the end of the year, Bernard died. Then moving into 1336, our heir, John, became a teenager. So he rolled really well, and he is still the heir. We also had Blanche over in France, Frey's wife, had their first baby, Amy, and everybody rolled really well. Also, Daniel became a young adult and rolled well, but Dolphin, the cat, died. Dolphin died of old age, so I guess it wasn't so bad. 1337 brought us war, and this is the first time that our family has had to deal with war, and so all of the eligible men in our main and side households all rolled, and John, Daniel, and Christopher all had to go to war. That same year, Thomasina and Thomas aged up to become toddlers, and they rolled really well. Ethel aged to a young adult, and she rolled well. Amy, over in France, rolled to become a toddler, and she did not, so Amy died. Little Michael, in our main household, got to age up to a teen at the same time that Shark, the cat, died. Also, we ended the year with Christopher becoming a young adult. Also, his baby Denise was born the same year without us, and baby Blanche was born over in France, and everybody lived and everybody rolled really well. Then moving into 1338, Robert English died of old age, and Clara decided she and her family moved in to Anaya's house, where Anaya had just given birth to Daniel's second daughter, their first daughter together, Liana, and Liana died. That was the sad part. The happy part is that Hugh, our main heir, got to become an elder, and we have him for 9 more years. So that is something definitely to look forward to. Also, Frey became a young adult, and Olive became an adult, and both of them had really good roles. So we headed into the last year of the decade, 1339, with Denise becoming a toddler and John rolling for the second part of his teenhood, and both of them rolled really well. Also this year, our little Michael died from being hysterical and thankfully was able to be revived by his dad's pleading with the Grim Reaper. We also had baby Blanche age up over in France and become a toddler, and she rolled really well. And Clara became an adult. Also, in France, they had a baby and named her Gwendolyn, and she rolled really well. Then we had Nathaniel, Clara's son, became a teenager, and he rolled really well. So he will be getting married in just a few years. Then we rolled for Michael and Cooper to both become elders, and they both rolled and died. So we had a really big party, and we invited everybody over, and Michael and Cooper, Nathaniel aged up at the party, and then Michael and Cooper both died at the party. Then we ended the decade with Gwendolyn becoming a young adult. So she is in her house without her husband, who is in the war. Anaya is in her house without her husband, who is in the war. And John is in the war, but he knows who he's going to marry just as soon as he gets home in a couple of years. So that ended the 1330s. I hope that you guys enjoyed this recap, and I look forward to seeing you in the 1340s. Bye.